Hello, folks. Again, this is Doug Pinkham with Pinkham and Associates. We are a dedicated family law firm in Southern California. This form is the request to waive court costs and fees. It's the FW-001. There's another form that goes with this, and there'll be another video following this one, and that is the 003. It's the actual order on the waiver. So if it's granted, then this order would say that it's granted, or if it's granted in part and you got to pay part of it, or if you have to pay monthly payments of 10 or 20 bucks, that's what would end up going on the order. But let's start with this form, FW-001. There's a link for it. You can download the form right here, right there on this page where you're watching this video. And I recommend that you do that. You are allowed to fill this form out in handwriting, so you can literally fill it out as this video goes along. So feel free to do that. This is a very simple form, so I want you to keep it simple. So let's start at the top. We've got the request to waive court fees. As you go down the form, I want you to read those instructions, but number one asks for your personal information. So your name, your address, phone number, that goes there. Number two is your job. So you got to list your title, the name of the employer, and your employer's address. Okay? Then the next box, number three, starts talking about your attorney. So if you have a lawyer, his information goes there, name, firm name, address, phone number, state bar number, that kind of thing. If you do not have an attorney, that is left blank. And then if you do have a lawyer, A and B are important. If you have a lawyer, then the attorney needs to be involved in filling out A and B. A says that the attorney has agreed to advance all or a portion of your fees and costs. If they have not, you mark no. If they have, then you mark yes. You do not want to mark yes on this one, because then they won't grant your waiver, because somebody's already paid your fees. If yes, then the lawyer needs to sign this on where in that space after B. All right, let's go on to number four. What court costs are you asking to be waived? If this is a regular divorce case or paternity action or something like that, then you're going to mark the first box next to Superior Court. If it's an appellate case or a Supreme Court case, then you would mark the next box. That is not likely what you're doing if you're on this website watching my videos. All right, number five. Why are you asking the court to waive your court costs and fees? Obviously, the answer to that is that you cannot afford, or you don't think you can afford the fees, but they need some specifics here. A, if you mark, okay, so if you are receiving any of those forms of assistance, food stamps, supplementary Social Security income, Medi-Cal, IIHSS, CalWorks, TANF, any of those kinds of things. So go through and mark any of the boxes that you are receiving. If you are receiving any of those, your form is going to be even easier than somebody else, because you're almost done. If you're not receiving any of those, go on to B and see, does B apply to you? My gross monthly household income before deductions for taxes, so this is gross income, is less than the amount listed below on this chart. So the way the chart works is you look for the amount of people that live in your home. So let's say, for example, there's 4 people living in your home. You go to the box where it says family size 4. To the right of that, it shows a number, a monthly income, a family income of $2,682.30. If you have 4 people living in your home and the family income into that house, the gross income before taxes is more than, or let's say is less than $2,682.30, then you're going to mark B, and then you are likely to receive your waiver. Pay attention to far on the right of that thing. Let's say you have 8 people living in your home. Then you would look at the box that says 6, and the total next to that box for the total family income is $3,603.13. But you have to add 2 more people at the rate of $460.42 per month, as it says far to the right there. So if you have 9 people, then you have to add 3 people's worth of $462.42. I think you understand. Okay, if neither of those apply, let's say, for example, you have that household of 4 people, but your income is $3,000 a month. You don't qualify under B. So then you move on to C. C says, I do not have enough income to pay for my household basic needs and the court fees. I ask the court to, and then you're going to mark a box, waive all court fees and costs, waive some of my court fees and costs, or let me make payments over time. So if you don't qualify under A or B, you can mark C. And even if your income's too high, you can ask the court to let you make payments over time and mark that box. Do what fits for you. The part here is that if you fill out C, if you mark C, then you absolutely must complete page 2. And I'm going to show you that in a second. If you mark A or B, all you need to do is date and sign this form below and write your name, print your name on the left there underneath the date, and you are done with this form. All right, folks, let me move on to page 2. If you've marked 5C, oh wait, hold on, I didn't talk about 6. So 6 reads, check here if you ask the court to waive your court costs and fees for this case in the last 6 months. So if you've already asked the court to waive the court costs and fees and they've denied it, then you might want to ask again later if your income changes. If so, you have to mark box 6, and you're going to mark the box to the right of that question and attach a copy of your previous request and their denial. That's just so the state knows, yes, you've asked before, and what the outcome of that request was. So again, if you marked box 5C, you have to fill out page 2. Page 2 is simple, but there's a lot of information there. So you need to fill it out completely. Box 7 is pretty, item 7 is pretty straightforward. Check there if your income fluctuates from month to month. So maybe you're a real estate salesperson. Maybe you are just, maybe you receive tips for a living, and your tips are greatly different from month to month. Whatever it is, if your income is different from month to month, you're going to want to mark the box next to item 7. Number 8. All right, so this is listing the source and amount of any income that you receive each month. So on the bottom under 1, if it's your employer, put your employer's name and then how much you receive from your employer. If you have some other source of income, rental income or whatever, you're going to mark that off to the left there and then put how much rent you receive to the right. Whatever your income is, write down the source and then how much that rent is per month, or how much that income is per month, and then you're going to total it under B at the bottom of item 8. Number 9 is household income. This is the list. You're going to list the income of the other people in your home. So let's say you have an adult son who works and has income coming into the house. You're going to put that in there. If you have a husband or a spouse that has income, and you're going to need to put that in there. Whatever the source is, if you live with your parents, You live with a grandparent. They need to be listed if they have income. Okay? Then underneath number 9, at the bottom of number 9 is B. You're going to put the total there also. And then below 9, you're going to list all of the income. The total monthly income and household income goes on that line. Then we move over to some assets. Number 10, your money and property. So they want you to list your assets and the value of those assets. Off to the right, if you have cash laying around, you list how much cash you have. If you only have $40 of cash to your name, it's on your wallet, put $40 there. Okay, and then all financial accounts. Under B, list your banks and how much money is in those bank accounts. C is cars, boats, and other vehicles. List that information as it's requested. If you own real estate, under D, you're going to list that information. E is other personal property, such as jewelry, furniture, furs, stocks and bonds, coin collection, a valuable piece of antique furniture would go there. If you have a piano, you might need to put that down there. But that's what is for E, other. Then we move on to item number 11. It talks about and asks about your expenses. So 11A, list any payroll deductions for the monthly amount below. You would find that on your pay stubs. And it also lists for other people. If you do have that adult son working in the home, you're going to want to list him then again and his deductions, or your parent, or whatever those sources of income are. If you had rental income and you receive, say, $800 a month for rent, but you have $400 a month in expenses for that, you're going to want to put $400 off to the right on that. 11B asks for how much you pay for rent or a house payment and maintenance where you live. C is food and household supplies. How much do you spend per month on that? The rest of those D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, they're asking for those items and how much you spend per month on each item. I, or JKL, L asks for installment payments. So if you have a credit card, you're going to list the credit card there and list the payment on that credit card to the right. If you have a car payment, you're going to list the car and the payment to the right. Anything you pay monthly on, if you have a consolidation loan, if you have a loan on dental work, you're going to put that on the left and the name of the lien, and you're going to put the total off to the right. M, wage earnings withheld by a court order. So if you're paying child support or spousal support, for example, on another case, you're going to want to put under M, you're going to want to list off to the right how much they're taking from your check for that. N, any other monthly expenses. So if you're paying money every month for something else, you need to list it there. If you have a lawn service, somebody taking care of your lawn, you would list that and put $80, $100, whatever it is, off to the right there. And then on the very bottom, it asks for the total monthly expenses. That's everything you listed under number 11 there. All right, folks, that completes this form. And if you're using this form, you're going to attach that to the next form, which is the court order on court fees, the waiver for court fees. I'm going to have a video on that. Specifically, the title of that form is Order on Court Fee Waiver. So again, that's FW-003. That's going to probably be the next video. Go see that video, and those forms go together. Thank you. I hope this video was very helpful.